Hello dear friends and colleagues. Today is November 20th, 2022. We are in my vineyard in Vitebsk regions of the Republic of Belarus. As you can see, winter weather has already come in full swing with us. We have had about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow for the last few days. Night frosts began to reach -10 degrees, but my vines are already safely protected from the harmful effects of such temperatures. They will winter until spring under cover. I installed my shelter just a couple of days ago, as soon as a strong invasion of cold masses began, and at the same time the soil had time to dry slightly and get cold. But at the same time there were small difficulties associated with the presence of snow, the cover, which had to be lightly raked from the bushes, and then laid in insulating material. But they should not be afraid of this, since the earth had time to slightly freeze, and the snow was easily raked from bushes. The most important thing that I always set you up for is the absence of slush and dampness under bushes. Friends, in this video I want to focus on the two main ways of hiding that I use it in my vineyard and talk about their pros and cons. Both of these shelters tunnel type, and therefore I strongly recommend using them in your vineyard if possible, especially in northern conditions. They prove their reliability from year to year. So, one of the main ways in the open field, which I use to protect against winter frosts, this is my two-layer sandwich, which consists of about 20 to 25 centimeters of a layer of straw and a waterproofing membrane, wherein a layer of straw acts as an insulating material, and the membrane protects it from getting wet layer and removes the resulting condensate vapor from under the shelter during temperature changes. Why this one method is predominant for me. Firstly, the use of straw is one of the best with my from the point of view of insulating materials in the case of the same black frosts without snow, provides the most reliable protection of the entire root system from freezing, does not allow cold air to penetrate to roots, as well as damage the buds on the vines. Secondly, it does not interfere with the return of the main source of heat from the ground. Thirdly, it smooths out temperature fluctuations, which are quite often found in winter. Fourthly, the necessary dryness is maintained in the shelter due to its properties of porosity, rapid drying and weathering. Now, as for the membrane, it is used as a two-layer. Below it has such a layer, a porous composition, releasing the condensate vapor formed under the shelter, and from above, it is so smooth and prevents atmospheric precipitation from penetrating under the shelter. That is, she does not miss them. Thus, shelter in this way remains dry and well ventilated, which provides reliable protection every year. Wintering. The ends of such a shelter, as you can see, I never close. It makes snow for me. You see that already half of the shelter is covered with snow. Well, as for the disadvantages of such a shelter, this is primarily the duration of its installation and removal in the spring in time. The second is the appearance of rodents under certain conditions. On these conditions, I want to dwell separately because a lot of questions about this are being asked. This is primarily due to the fact that people quite early begin to establish such a shelter. If use this on unfrozen ground when rodents are looking for a place to make some nests there. Besides fresh straw is used, which is highly undesirable. And the third point, which I think affects the appearance such rodents, this is poor ventilation in the shelter. If these moments are eliminated, then problems as in my vineyard absolutely will not. The second way I can recommend northern windgrowers, this is the use of such synthetic materials as geotextiles. Darnite is also called other various materials. We also get this dry tunnel cover. We throw this darnet either through the bottom wire or on all kinds of metal frames or windowgrowers put on the bush itself. For these purposes, I recommend you use a denser darnite grade 300 together with a membrane or other materials to protect it from getting wet. This is one of its unpleasant properties, and here we need to pay attention to such a moment, like the height of this tunnel shelter. It is necessary to keep the height no more than 20 to 25 centimeters in order to exclude the entry of frosty air to the roots and vines, and it would be nice from the ends of such a shelter mulch with the same straw or other improvised materials. Dry osaka, dry reeds, large shavings. In order to prevent the entry of cold air. But big the advantage of this method is its quick installation and removal and, of course, simplicity. But it is necessary to take into account all these nuances. This year I decided to try this method for myself. In the open field on individual frost-resistant adult bushes, such as Iadu, Swenson Red and Karinka, but of course we will see the result in the spring. Well, as for my greenhouses in which we are, here I have so far covered only young bushes with pure straw. 1 2-year-old. On top of them, I will definitely throw a double spanbin 60 and, if necessary, the same doornet. Well, friends, such is my situation today in my vineyard. Everyone good wintering. Subscribe to the channel. Put likes. I hope that the video was interesting for you and useful. Vadim Tachalin was with you. See you soon.